President Biden taking the podium, getting in front of a microphone. Where else? Delaware, pitching Bidenomics and the billions in spending that comes along with it. A new poll revealing Americans believe that they will be better off financially if Trump wins in 2024. O'Leary Ventures chairman Kevin O'Leary joins us now. I've always said this, Kevin, I'm not talking about personality. I'm going to talk about policy all day long. And that's what the American people feel about Trump versus Biden when it comes to their own money.
It's happened. It's become a top issue in the upcoming election, only 12 months away. And all of a sudden, people are looking at the cost of energy, protein, car loans, mortgages. And, you know, these are complicated situations because of the rate hikes that happened so quickly. But there's no question, inflation is not going down. It's north of 3.5%. The Fed may have to increase rates another 25 or 50 basis points as early as January, February. It will be a very hot political potato, and it's going to become an issue because it hits you every day at the pump. It hits you every day at the grocery store. And that is what really hurts mandates. Inflation has been hurting presidential runs on both sides of the aisle for decades. It's nasty.
Kevin, I see your stuff on social media. You're trying to guide young people to be successful. One of your greatest tips is save money. But because of everything that we're seeing under this administration, not only are people not saving, their debt is skyrocketing as well. As a nation, we're at the highest debt that we've ever seen. So having said that, to me, I look at this as sort of an erosion of the American dream. You've got a generation of young people who aren't saving. They think owning a home is out of their reach. How do you, what happens when that generation now becomes adults and sort of spreads out across the country? What kind of America are we looking at?
We're looking at a downsized America. I tell it like it is. Let's talk about housing. You know, just 3 years ago, even 24 months ago, you get a mortgage at 4.5%. You're lucky to get one at 8 today. So that means the size of the house you're going to buy is 20 to 25% smaller. That's a downsize. You want to borrow for a car? Sorry, that's 8 to 9%. Used to be 5. So smaller, less expensive car. That's happening at the same time. And also, you really have to think about where you work. If you're going to spend a lot of money driving, you're going to pay a fortune in gasoline because that's moving back up. Looks like we're on our way back up to oil between $90 and $100. These are all political issues. But the truth is, if you take interest rates up in this unprecedented, you know, from basically nothing to 5%, 5.5% now, and on its way likely to 6%, which means the lending rate's more like 9%, it's going to hurt somewhere, and it means your lifestyle, if you're in your early 20s, is going to be about 20% less. Sorry to tell you the truth, but that's what I do all day long, and that's the way it is.
Kevin, you talk about the younger generation. I know you're following what's going on college campuses. I look at that situation and I say the problem is we shovel so much federal money at these schools and these students that they're wasting their time and wasting their talent on somebody else's dime, not their own. Kevin, don't we need to cut the money going to colleges to help get the younger generation back on track?
You know, this debate has no solution. It's an impossible situation, because you've really got the country split in half. That's really what's occurring here. I tell all my students, you know, and I recently taught a case in Harvard just last week. MIT, Temple, Notre Dame, these are colleges I go to all the time. And I tell these students one thing: these are highly politicized issues, and everybody has an opinion. But when you post, when you get on one side of it on social media, which is unique, it's a unique time in America, that goes on your resume forever, forever and ever and ever. So think about what you're doing, because these people are in their early 20s. They haven't thought through their strategy for their futures. They're getting caught up in an impossible issue. And it's horrible to watch this play out. There's no way to solve for it. This is like an abortion issue. You'll never solve for it. It's heartbreaking. But for students, be very, very careful.
Kevin, great to see you. Thank you so much for being
Take
here
care.
always. Kevin O'Leary.